Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you're part of that 80% watching this who haven't subscribed yet, subscribe! And as always, my socials are down below. Today I'm coming to you live from my kitchen. Please pay absolutely no attention to the YouTube apron that I have over my left shoulder. That I've been dying to get in a shot. But hey, what better opportunity than today? For those of you waiting for my announcement that I mentioned last week, still no press releases or other official announcements, so I can't say anything yet. I am very sorry about that. But to make up for that, I'm about to eat a whole lot of diet-ruining food live on camera. A little while ago, I ran a poll on my Instagram whether I should have another mukbang, and the overwhelming answer was yes. And then I asked what kind of foods I should eat, and you all picked crunchy foods, specifically Mexican. And with Sunday, that being today, if you're watching this on the day I release it, which you should, being Cinco de Mayo, you know, it seemed like a natural fit. And I do love Mexican food quite a lot. Even though I'm Puerto Rican Colombian, it's a little bit of an obsession. Yes, and it just so happens my ex-wife is Mexican American, and I also lived in Texas for many years, so I got really spoiled when it comes to Mexican food. Or at least Tex-Mex, or what some people call Blvd Mexican. And since you all want a crunchy food, I figured best here that I would reposition my mic right here. Now, it isn't an ASMR mic, but hopefully you'll be able to catch every delicious crunch after crunch. And I bought all crunchy food. And where I went is to a local Orlando institution, Tijuana Flats. Gracias, Sonia.
De nada.
Just waiting on my food.
Tacos, chicken with no jalapeno onion, beef tostada, no jalapeno onion, and a churros.
Perfect, thank you.
No problem. Have a good one.
So like she said, I ended up getting 2 tacos, some tostadas, as well as some churros, because I figured those would all be delicious and crunchy. It was also almost 6 p.m. on Friday, and I haven't eaten anything all day. So I am really hungry. But because it's me, you know, this isn't just gonna be some ordinary mukbang. I mean, I'm a lesbian, and everybody knows what taco means, right? So as I eat, hopefully I'll pause enough for my hunger to take a breath and talk to you about the top 5 things I love about my vagina. And the only hard thing about that is that I had to limit myself to 5 things, because let's face it, I love my vagina a lot. As I should, because I fought really hard for it. So the first thing here is tacos with lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, and sour cream, along with tortilla chips. And one of the things Tijuana Flats is famous for, and by the way, they're not a sponsor, is their sauces bar. And this one is my favorite. I think it's called Slap My Ass and Call Me Sally, or something slightly misogynistic like that. So I'll pour that all over my chips in a second and start to eat. And second thing I got is this huge thing of tostadas. And that has beef, lettuce, and sour cream on it because, you know, wifeful with veggies. And I can't wait to tear into that. And then finally we come to dessert, which is churros. Putting the sauce on. And as I eat this first taco, I'm gonna taco about my vagina. So the first thing I like about my vagina is very much like this taco. It's very aerodynamic. Now, what do I mean by aerodynamic? Well, I mean exactly like it sounds. There isn't a lot of junk in the way anymore to kind of slow me down. Man down. I've been waiting all day for this. Gosh, this is so good. Testicles and the rest. Not to mention the penis. Stuff I don't even like to think about anymore. And not having anything down there just makes it easier to do a whole lot of things. Sit down. I don't have to worry about getting hit down there when I'm playing softball. By the way, everybody, this is how much I love you. I'm eating crunchy tacos. I'm not a big fan of crunchy tacos. Taco 1 down. The design of penises is actually really dumb. I mean, I don't have anything against penises. Well, I do when they're attached to my body. Or anywhere close to my body. You know, they're extremely sensitive things, and not to mention the testicles are even more sensitive, and they hang outside of the body for a reason, I know that. And for those of you who don't know, I believe it's to aid in sperm production, because it needs to be a little bit cooler than it is in the rest of your body. You know, your penis is just hanging out there, just wagging in the wind, waiting for somebody to just walk by and cut it off by mistake, or on purpose. Most animals, you know, have a kind of a retractable penis, right? Like dolphins. Why? Because it would make them less aerodynamic. Even the penis of dogs is kind of retractable. There's a kind of a lipstick effect there. Ooh, crunchy. Now, the second thing I like about my vagina is the way she smells. And I don't mean in like the panty sniffing kind of way. I just think it's pretty awesome that, as happens, you know, I get a little wet. And guess what? It smells like every other vagina I've ever smelled in my entire life. Which to me is just plain miraculous. Chicken tacos. I don't know, should I do some ASMR videos? Now, for those of you squeamish about smelling your own vaginas, it's actually a very critical part of your health. You need to know what it smells like on an average day, so you can detect when it isn't smelling like it normally does, because that can be an indication of things like yeast infections. Smell your vagina. It's no different than touching your breasts to detect whether you have lumps. They are normal, healthy functions of our bodies. All the chips are gone, and this is the last bit of taco. Taco. This mukbang is banging my ass. It's like Mexican pizza. Probably Mexicans all over groaning over that. I'm sorry. There's a lot of food. But the next thing I like about my vagina is kind of a selfish thing, and it's the fact that it makes it easier for me to date now in the lesbian world. Yeah, I can understand why a lot of people, especially in the transgender community, feel like that shouldn't be the case. But on this channel, I'm always going to tell you the truth. And I'm not going to give you the pie in the sky version. And the truth is, if you're a transgender lesbian and you haven't had your bottom surgery yet, it's going to be a lot tougher for you to date. Even if you have bottom surgery, it's still hard for you to date. For a lot of lesbians, that's the go, no go. So I know if I go up to a girl or she comes up to me and she asks me out, that is one less thing for me to worry about, because I'm already going to have to come out to her that I'm transgender. And we all know what the second question is going to be after that. Obviously, I'm not more or less a lesbian with a vagina or not. And I'm not trying to toss any shade at cisgender lesbians, by the way. This isn't as crunchy as I'd hoped. I've eaten a lot of it. Ugh, gosh. The next thing on my list, my second favorite thing overall of what I like about my vagina, is how it feels to put things in it. If I was okay with having a penis and the way sex felt like before, I wouldn't have bothered getting the surgery in the first place. Deep inside, in a part of us that we didn't like to admit existed before we transitioned, it seemed like that's the way things were supposed to be. All physical evidence to the contrary. And that's not only hard to explain to other people, it's hard to explain to us. But I can tell you one of the first things I did after I had my surgery, and once I was healed enough, is go buy a vibrator, because I really wanted to know what sex was going to feel like for me. And you know what? Didn't disappoint. And I'm sorry if that's triggering for anybody or raises any kind of feelings of dysphoria. Yeah, I gotta admit, I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. I miss my penis like this much. All right, everyone, I hope you're not disappointed that that's all I could eat of the tostadas. I'm gonna have a bellyache. And I'm supposed to go out tonight, but I am not gonna eat a thing. A girl says now. On to the churros. I wish you guys were here to know what this smells like, because it smells unbelievably good. And the number one thing I like about my vagina, see what I did there? Is the fact that I have one at all. I think I just had a mouthgasm. In terms of the history of mankind, transgender people have always existed. But it's only been for about the last 80 years that a surgery has existed at all. Or treatments really in any way to allow us to transition. So in the past, everybody had to do what we would call today a social transition. And to be honest, sometimes I think to myself, how did those people cope with that? Because I know how bad my dysphoria used to be before. I can't even imagine what it would have been like if there was zero possibility of me ever becoming who I wanted to be. The depression before was awful. It would have been a living hell if I'd had to continue that way in perpetuity. So much better than those theme park churros. So I give thanks that I could have the vagina. And yes, I know I'm using vagina interchangeably with vulva. And I don't take for granted that that hasn't always been the case. So I love her because she exists. And she's all mine to give away willy-nilly. Well, I hope you enjoyed my mukbang and enjoy Cinco de Mayo. If you own a vagina, whether you're cisgender or transgender, let me know what you love about yours. And if you don't own a vagina, let me know what you think it might be like and what you think you might love about yours if your goal is to get one. As I said earlier, all my socials are down below. And if you have a dime to spare, consider supporting me through my Patreon. Don't forget to like my video by giving it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it, and see you around the interwebs.